Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. We're going to be continuing with part 3 of the Civilization series that I'm running now, featuring Willem and the Dutch. This is a series that I've gotten a lot of really good feedback on and a lot of positive responses, so let's try to keep it going. I actually wanted to put up a League of Legends game on my channel before putting up another Civ game, but LoL Replay got really messed up by the most recent patch, the one that completely changed the way Summoner's Rift looks. So until LoL Replay fixes that, I can't do a whole lot with replays. So for now, let's continue where we left off last time. And let's see, let's scroll back. So last time we were able to get out to 3 cities, and we're looking solid, if not spectacular, in the demographics. Here, I'll show that for you. Just average, actually a little bit below par in terms of GMP. But we're running close to the leader in food, and that's really the most important thing right now. Like this is the key number right here, is on food, and my cities are all growing, and they're going to grow much quicker once they get their granaries in place. I'll be able to fix my GMP very quickly once I get libraries up and get more cottages. So the good news is we have 4 workers for 3 cities. They're going to be able to improve tiles quickly. Now, let's see, I am going to keep exploring with this unit for the moment. And right here, so again, here we go. This is the 3rd city I put up. This is The Hague right here. So the key thing you always want to do with cities is you want to settle cities where there's food. So like this sheep is a food resource. Notice it starts at 3 food. If I build a pasture here, it goes to 5 food. So that's a very good tile. This is going to be a strong city. This has good terrain here. I mean, I know it has tundra. The tundra's not great, but there's more than enough good tiles to get this up to size about 14 or 15. And it's okay if you have, a couple bad tiles. But even this deer tile can get up to 4 food. So this city's going to have a lot of food. This is going to be a strong city. And I want to get the horses connected too. But it's more important to get food connected first. So let's go ahead and build a pasture here. It's 4 turns, but I can pair up the workers, so it'll get done in 2 turns. And that's what we want to do. We want to get our food going here. And then once the food's up and running, I can start whipping the city. And of course, the first thing I need to do is get granary. And then after that, I'm going to put in a library. I'm probably going to go granary library in basically every city because I get cheap libraries. All right, you see some Portuguese units moving around. This unit's woodsman too, so I can get extra moves. Yeah, the land a little bit better over here. Gandhi has researched bronze working, and he has adopted slavery. And someone has built the first wonder, or has built, not the first wonder. It looks like it was Louis as well because his score went up. Let's check and see if he built it or not. Okay, it was built by Louis, and Stonehenge was built by Bismarck. Okay, the Great Wall is not that scary. Here, I'll highlight what it does. Prevents barbarians from entering borders, and you get more great generals when fighting inside your border. It's solid, but it's not great. Stonehenge gives you 1 culture, a free monument in every city, so that's basically mini creative trait. You get like a mini creative trait. I am not playing a wonder game because my start really wasn't suited for it. Now what I had here, 2 forest chops complete, so I get 20 production for each forest chop. You can see here, 4 base production per turn, and then I got 40 from chopping. So this is going to complete the granary. It's going to go from 18 and then plus 44, so that'll get us to 62. It'll finish the granary, and I'm going to go on to a library here next. So I'll just queue that up. If you hit shift and click on something, you can set things in a queue. Useful, more useful in multiplayer, where you have to worry about a turn timer, but you can queue up as many things as you want. And the other thing you can do is with units, if you hit alt click, you can see how it says little star here. That means it'll just keep building this unit endlessly. It can be useful in multiplayer games again. Just a little note on the interface. So here we go, we've got this in place, and then I have something in mind for those workers next turn too. Can we tick up our science? Yep, there we can go. You pretty much always want to run as much science as you can. I'm not going to get into the math of how to calculate how science is done. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about that. So they're exploring open borders, so am I.
Do not throw the arrow which will return against you.
And we've got archery tech, so this allows us to build archers. It's also mandatory for later archery units. So like obviously I can't build longbows yet. I need feudalism, but if you research feudalism, you won't be able to build them unless you also have archery. So anyway, let's see what I want. Let me check the tech tree. I think I need to grab masonry because it's a cheap tech, and there are in fact some resources that use quarries. So I think I'm gonna pick this up now. Let's see, coast and rivers. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm going to pick that up. And oh, and the walls as well. In case I would get attacked by Zoal, then I can build walls in a border city, and that will give me a chance of defending. With archers and walls, I would have a chance of, I have a decent chance to hold a city. Alright, so Amsterdam's grown to size 4. Notice that it's at the happy cap right now. That's because it needs a unit. You need to keep a unit in each city, or else it gets unhappy. So let's use the overflow to finish a warrior. That's just what we want. And then I want the city to grow for the moment. So then I'm going to build a library next. I want the granary to fill up the food box. Again, I didn't actually complete the granary at the best moment. You want to complete a granary when the food box is 50% full for micro reasons. Just trust me on this, guys. But I didn't really have a choice there. So there we go. Now we have 2 granaries. Now these cities will grow much faster, and the other leaders are adopting slavery. So now what I'm going to do with these 2 workers is, notice how I'm real close to Zoal's Portuguese civ here. What I want to do is I want to have a trade route with him, so that with open borders I'll be getting more trade route income. So I'm going to build a road on this tile with my 2 workers. Alright, now we have a road running to his civ. See, now it goes to a river that's inside his borders. And rivers will carry a trade route as long as they're inside your borders. So we should have a trade route connected next turn. Like right now, all my trade routes are domestic. We should see a trade route pop up next turn. Over here, we finished the pasture on the sheep tile. Now, if I want to, I can build a road on this tile. That will connect the sheep to my city network, and then it will pop up here. The thing is, though, I don't need health right now. Notice how my cities are not near the health cap. This city's not close to its health cap. This city's fine for the time being as well. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to move these guys towards the horse resource and try to get that in my borders. And unfortunately, I do have to waste a worker turn here. There's just not really any way to avoid that. So let's just move over here as quickly as possible. And this guy should be done. This guy should be done too. So if I were India and I had fast workers, I could probably avoid wasting a turn there. But I'm not. And not moving on a forest, so my Woodsman 2 unit only moves 1 tile. Alright, let's see what happens. Notice my research is going up because my cities are growing. Also, by the way, check out the hamlet here. The cottage has become a hamlet, so instead of 3 commerce, it now produces 4. And notice how it says 19 turns to village. That will go up again when in 19 more turns. It's 10, 20, 30, and 40 for the different cottage levels. Next, I'm going to move these workers. I'm going to move them back to the capital, and I'm going to have them just laying down cottages on all the river tiles, all the green river tiles. That's where I'm going to head next. So let's do that. And I want my capital to just grow for the moment. All right, work on a library. Okay, so now let's see. So now we fortify here, and let's see. Now the happiness, instead of 2 people being unhappy, there's only 1. Well, I guess there's technically 5, but you can see now I have an extra happiness here because I have a unit in the city. Whip on happiness for 3 more turns, so that'll go away in 3 more turns. The we cannot forgive your cruel oppression, and then it'll be able to grow another size. But anyway, right now we're just growing the city there. Here we want to connect the horses. Horses again are a strategic resource. They will allow me to build military units that are need horses. But first we have to build a pasture, and then we have to connect it to our trade network. Unfortunately, it looks like that did not actually connect a trade route over to Zoal. I'm not exactly sure why. I would have thought that would have done it, but apparently not. Oh well. Let me see. How are we doing on espionage with everybody? Let's just see. We're good here. We're good here. All right. So for the moment, let's just put the on Bismarck. I just want to try to get bar graphs with everybody. Okay, so these guys need to come over here, and they need to get back to the capital. Let's see, is there anything they can do en route? Probably not. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to waste some worker turns here, moving them. I just don't see any way to avoid that. Yeah. Oh well. Just have to run them over here. This is what you generally want to try to avoid, but I just don't see anything for them to do while they're running over here. And again, I want them to build cottages at the capital. Utrecht is also growing to size 3. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't have a good 3rd tile to work. So not much I can do about this, unfortunately. I do want to build cottages here in time, but it's more crucial to get them at the capital first. I'm also going to whip this library. Yeah, I'm going to whip this library to completion and then let it regrow. As soon as I can one-pop whip it, I'm going to do so. So anyway, here's the third city for Zoel, and that is a pretty good city. He's got a grassland cow, which is a pretty good tile. So we can see all of his cities right now. I'll just keep exploring over here. There's a decent chance we'll end up fighting at some point. So this pasture will finish next turn. Do I want to work this tile? Yes, it's probably the best tile to work at the moment. Now I can whip this, but I don't, and I am actually going to whip this to completion, but if I whip this, it'll just go back to size 1. It'll go back to size 1 with like nothing in the box. So I'm going to let this grow until it's almost size 2. And I'm going to whip it then because it'll immediately regrow. You'll see. It'll make more sense in time. Alright, let's see what's over here. Oh wow, not a lot over here except the big river valley. Okay. Alright. Let's see, can I do something on this turn with these workers so as to not waste their time? Because I want to get them to these tiles. 1, 2. No, unfortunately I can't. It's going to be a waste of a turn regardless. Again, fast workers, India fast workers would be, would not have this issue. But unfortunately I'm going to have to waste these turns. But it's crucial because I need to get this cottage built in time for Amsterdam to grow to size 5. Now, a little note here. Notice how I've talked about how I'm financial, how I get extra commerce. Any plot that has 2 commerce goes to 3 commerce instead. So that's why I have 4 instead of 3 on this tile. Now, the other thing is I'm creative. So I get the free 2 culture per turn. You can see there's no cultural building in this city, but I still get 2 culture per turn. One of the nice perks of being creative. It's not the only thing creative does. Creative also adds double speed production of library, theater, and coliseum. So if you notice here, if you check out how much production I'm actually creating 5 production here, but I get 10 production per turn because I'm building a library and I'm creative. So this creative allows you to get libraries up much faster, and that's one of the strengths of the trait. It's very good early game trait. It's not as good later in the game. However, because Civ is a snowball game, being strong early in the game generally means more than being strong late in the game. Just sort of the way it works. Alright, now over here we finished the horses tile. We finished a pasture on the horses, so now look at what happens in the city. Now, the food surplus drops from 5 food per turn to 4 food per turn because there's only 1 food coming in on this tile. See, if I work a 2 food tile, it's 5 food per turn. By working this, the amount of food actually drops. However, the tile is just so much better, it's still worthwhile to work this tile. 4 production and 1 commerce, much better. Overall, the overall yield on this tile is only 3, the yield on this tile is 5. So it's a much better tile. So we're going to switch over to working this. I think actually I'll let the granary complete manually because that will... No. Oh well, I'll consider it in a couple turns. Actually, what I want to do is I should whip when the city is halfway full on food. That would be the optimal way to play this. Let me think for 1 sec. Yeah, if I whip when the food box is halfway full, I'll get the granary benefit. So I should probably whip this next turn. For sort of esoteric reasons. Anyway, the food box is filling up in these cities, so we're in pretty good shape. No, actually, I shouldn't whip the library here. I should double whip a settler. That's what I should do. Well, we'll get to that in time. Anyway, things are looking good right now. You can see my score looks pretty solid. All right, so what we want to do is we want to build a cottage. So let's get started on that. 4 turns, but again, we have the workers paired up, and usually it's better to have workers paired up just because you complete improvements faster. Oh, there's a barb. Well, we should be pretty safe there. So this will be done in 2 turns. Now, notice that even though the horse tile is improved, the tile is improved, but it's not connected to our trade network. See, you can look in the city, there's no horses here. That's because we need to build a road in order to connect it to our trade network. So I'm going to build a road here and here. So let's do that right now because we want to be able to build horse units so we can build more advanced units. So now there's a road on this tile. It's a little hard to see. But if you mouse over, you can see it says road. Let's zoom in on the tile. Can I see it if I zoom in? You can actually zoom in on the map. Yeah, there's a camera flying feature. Can we see it? Yes, see the road? It's right next to the horses, right there. There's the road horse. Yes, so if you hit Control-Alt-F, you can actually set up the flying camera. I hope nobody's getting motion sickness from doing this, but you can fly around the map and look at it from weird angles. It's really it's kind of it's not a necessary feature, but it's kind of cool. So you can see here's my guys. There's Utrecht. Here's the elephants hanging out next to the city in their ivory camp. So everything on the map's animated. It's one of the neat things about Civ 4. The map's, really alive. You can see that with the fish tile. The fish. Well, it's not in. If it were in my borders, you'd be able to see it. But anyway, the animals move around. Like if we zoom way in on the sheep pasture, you can see the sheep are moving around. One of the things that I didn't like about Civ 5 is the map is very stale and lifeless because it's not animated at all. Anyway, do I want to whip this? Probably. It's almost always worth it to do so. Yeah. Is it one pop? Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to whip this, and it helps because I go back to working the only 2 good tiles, and it's going to allow me to help fill up the granary food box. Okay, so check out Amsterdam. It's about to grow. Now, because the granary is in place, it's going to store 50% of food after growth. So watch what happens when I hit next turn and grow. We'll check this out. Oh, I need to build something in here next. This isn't really a barracks city. Just get an archer up. So let's check out the city. Oh, now notice it's like, whoa, I have so much food here because, again, with a granary, 50% of the food carries over after growth. So notice how instead of having to start at 0 food, I start at 16. So you can see just how much it speeds up growth to have a granary in place. So that's one of the reasons why you pretty much want to build a granary first in every city. With rare exceptions, but nearly always want to build that granary first because it just increases the speed at which cities grow. They also regrow much faster after whipping. Alright, so let's build the road here. Now we have a road connection, and notice what pops up. Now we have horses. Now we've got horses on our trade network because there's a road going to the city, and it should be in my other cities as well. Yes. Now, why does it go to my other cities? Well, The Hague is connected to Amsterdam by this river. Because the river is inside my own borders, that carries the trade network. So these 2 are connected by river, and then these 2 are connected by road. So I can now build horse units anywhere in my civ, and I think I'll build 1 chariot just to go out around the map and scout out a little bit. I could build a scout, but scouts are only 1 strength, and a scout will die instantly to any barbs, whereas a chariot, 4 strength, 2 moves, has a better chance of surviving out there. So let's just build a chariot and send it out. I really want to see what's off to my west. I'm going to have this guy fortify. Let's see, he gets 25% bonus for being... Actually, no, let's not wait. Let's not... Well, yeah, I'll have him sit there. He'll have a decent defensive bonus. Hopefully he won't die. If he dies, he dies. Alright, now, again, I was thinking, I wanted to whip this as well. So let's whip this granary. Overflow into a library. So now you can see the granary. Notice again how I get a lot of overflow from the granary. I'm going to get 15 production overflow. And again, notice how I'm going to regrow in just 2 turns. So I'm going to regrow back very quickly. That's why you want to whip a lot in the early game. Slavery is life in Civ 4. I know that sounds bizarre, but it really is. Oh, the other thing is here. So the cottage is completed. Notice how the worker is finished. You can do that. So the cottage is finished. 2 food, 3 commerce. So I want to start the capital to start working on this. It's going to give me extra commerce. Now the overall yield of the tile is lower. This is only 2 food compared to 1 food, 3 production. So the production is slower, but my commerce will be better and the city will grow faster. This city is growing very quickly, 17 food per turn. If I work this tile, 3 turns to grow. If I work this tile, 2 turns to grow. So the city grows much faster. The best way to play this game, the optimal way to play Civ 4, is you work high food and high commerce tiles, and then you whip for production. You very rarely actually build things. So mines, not that useful. Mines are useful for getting out workers and settlers early in the game. But the best way to build things is generally work high food tiles. So again, 3 food, 3 food, 3 food, 4 food. Work as much commerce as you can because research is crucial, and then whip for production. I know that it's sort of unconventional to think that way, but that really is the best way to play this game most of the time. Actually, I do want the chariot, but for right now, I'm going to plant a city here soon, so let's get another warrior defender for that city. Where should I go for that city? This is probably more important, even though it won't be too good immediately. How far away am I from Calendar? I need to get to Calendar quickly. I'm going to go math next. Okay, so let's do this city next because I need iron working to be able to cut the jungle and Calendar to be able to use this resource. So we'll go for this city next. And then we'll probably look to settle up here in the north at some point. But I do want to get this city to try to push towards the south as well. We'll see. I don't need that much land to be competitive on Emperor difficulty, but the more I can get, the better. Alright, don't lose on me. Now he's dead. Not too much luck. So he wants me to cancel deals with Maya. Now, why does he not like Maya? Well, they have different religions. I don't even know where Gandhi is, whereas Pakal is not that far away from me, so I'm going to say no to this. This is going to give me a minus penalty. Oh, wow, he's the worst enemy with a lot of people. Okay, so if I'm going to side with someone, I'm going to try to side with Pakal for the moment, because Gandhi doesn't seem to be very well liked. So, see, he didn't give me a minus for that, but he is not too happy. Anyway, I have had no luck with barbs in this game. I should have won that battle as well. Only 25% odds. Still, I guess I should have moved him out of the way. But I've lost a lot of low odds combats here. Anyway, we've got the granary complete. Now notice how my science keeps going up. I'm all the way back up to 19 beakers per turn. Well, I'm up to 70%, which means I can support more cities. So I'm going to look to do that soon. And I want another cottage here, because Amsterdam's about to grow. Let's see. I also need to hook up this gold resource because that'll increase the happy cap again. I can go to size 6 right now before my people start getting unhappy. If I connect the gold, that's another happy resource. That will allow me to go another size up higher. And then some of these resources down here, like silks is a happy resource, dyes and sugars, all these are happy resources. They require a tech called calendar though, which is a more advanced tech and one that I don't have yet. Alright, these guys up here, I want to go improve the other good tile here, which is that deer tile. But I don't want to waste a turn going up there. What can I do to avoid wasting a turn? Well, I can run up here, and I can put a turn into a road, as I showed in a previous video. And then I can walk up here and put another turn into that road as well, and then cancel it. Now, it doesn't finish the road because it's on tundra, and it takes an extra worker turn to build a road on tundra because the land is, rougher. But I'm only one turn away from finishing a road here, so that'll be there. That'll still be there, and like I said, that does get saved by the game. So over here, we're working our 2 good tiles. The granary food box is filling up. That's good. We've got our library. What I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to make you... Oh, I haven't said what a library does, so here you go. 2 culture. It's the first... well, the monument is the first building that produces culture, but 2 culture per turn and plus 25% research. That's not doing much right now because we're only making, it goes from 2 beakers to 2 beakers, but in time that will help out. So that's pretty nice. The first building that produces culture is this building here, the monument. See, 30 production plus 1 culture. It's on a tech I haven't researched. I have skipped the entire religious part of the tree. This is all the religious techs here. Mysticism, meditation, polytheism, priesthood. I've just completely skipped this part of the tree. I'll have to do a different video where I emphasize religion, but religion is something you can choose to pursue or you can ignore, and I've just ignored it in this game because there are many different ways of playing this game. Amsterdam's in good shape, producing most of my research, has the highest production. So when it grows to size 6, we will. I'm going to build a settler next, and I'm going to look to chop it and then double whip it to completion. You'll see. More advanced sort of micromanagement.
It is from their foes, not their friends, that cities learn the lesson of building high walls.
Alright, so masonry, this is a cheap early game tech. Again, it can build quarry. Quarries are what connect marble and stone, which I do have, but I haven't seen much use for it. And it also allows you to build walls and a couple other things. These are wonders. The pyramids, a wonder. Great Lighthouse, a wonder. The Great Wall, a wonder. But I'm not going to be looking to build any of them. The key tech I want right now is math. The biggest reason is you get extra production from chopping, and then it leads to other good stuff. So I'm going to head for that next. Let's go here. So now we can move, and we can build the camp. 5 turns provides deer, which is a health resource, and of course also provides food. Plus 2 food on the tile. So again, I'm working the 2 improved tiles here. You want to work improved tiles. That is, an improved tile is a tile that you've built an improvement on. You don't want to, you don't want to be working stuff like this. Like this, look at how bad this is. This city right now is getting 2 food, and it's really getting 3 production, but it's just getting doubled for a creative leader. Now watch what happens when I switch over to improved tiles. Instead I get 4 food per turn and 5 production. It's just a massive increase. You don't want to be working unimproved tiles. That's sort of the goal. You only want to work improved tiles. So again here, I'm going to swap over to this, and again, look how much commerce we're producing here. Quite a bit, 16 and 16 per commerce. What is it? 16 per turn, and then we're getting some gold here too. So this is how we're dividing up our commerce: 70% research, 30% gold. We actually I can tick that up a little bit because I have some gold in the bank right now. And then here again, we're working our 2 improved tiles, which is what we want to do. Unfortunately, I don't have a 3rd improved tile. What I want to do is I want to build some cottages on these grassland tiles. What I actually want to do is I want to get the city up to size 5. I want it to work a cottage, and then I'm going to run 2 specialists because I want to produce a scientist, a great scientist. Alright, so this is looking good here. And I'm going to go and I'm going to chop this forest next. You'll see, I'm going to let the Amsterdam get until it's 1 turn away from growth. And then I'm going to build a settler. And the AI is just moving units around, which is what it normally does. This city doesn't really have anything to do right now, so let's get it to work on that chariot, which is not that important. My military is really weak right now. I've just been skipping military. Here's that barbarian. Oh, he's actually combat 1. Well, we'll see. If he comes into my borders, I can always whip another unit if necessary. But I have not had much luck with the barbs. Yeah. Want to go down to this tile, we want to chop this. Yeah, now normally I'd have an exploring unit a unit or 2 out exploring, but just every unit I had out exploring died, unfortunately. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good. So I'm going to get pop growth next turn. Looking good. Maybe the AI will help me clear out some of these barbs. So all these units just running through my territory. Uh-oh, that's not good. Oh, barbs on the prowl. This is not good. There's barbs everywhere. Well, I'm probably going to have to whip this chariot, even though I didn't really want to do so. This is poor timing from this barbarian. Maybe I should have just turned the barbs off. They've given me so many problems in this game. Usually the barbs do not cause this many issues, but they sure have in this game. Alright, let's finish that. And I'm actually going to move this here, because I want to speed up growth. They just had to pop up right here when I'm going to chop this, right? Don't they? Alright, we'll swap that over to the settler. Very unfortunate. Yeah, I don't really see a way to avoid having to pop this. Oh, wow, that's going to cause even more unhappiness. Not good. Not what I wanted to do. But the barbs have really forced my hand here. I need a unit that can kill that stuff. Has to be done, unfortunately. We'll pop that. But now I have double unhappiness penalty, which is not good, of course. Alright. Get this guy down here. See if we can get the warrior to suicide. Build a road on that tile. Next game, I'm just going to turn the barbs off. They've been such a pain in the rear this game. Alright. Is this connected to my trade network? It is. Now what I want to do is move here and build a road to complete that, but I can't do that, so just gonna have to, well, I'm just gonna have to put 1 turn into a road here then, and cancel that. So I can then build a cottage on that tile. Alright. There they all come. Now, hopefully I won't get another really bad dice roll. Connected deer. Alright, so this is a 68%. Even if I lose, I can then attack with my warrior and kill it. And if I just lose that too, then I just give up and I'm going to start a new game. So I have had no luck against the barbs. Alright, there we go. So, oh, and of course this unit wins flawlessly without taking a point of damage. Alright, so there we go. Got that unit cleared out. This unit's coming in here. Let's see if we can get him to attack me on the hill. He may or may not. He may go to pillage. I can send my chariot up there to help out, though. Having to waste so many worker turns here because of these freaking barbarians. Work on this road for the moment. Alright, he should lose if he attacks me on the hill again. So I can't work this tile because there's a barb on it. Not that I'd want to, but that's the way it works. And I need to put one turn into an archer so I can emergency whip it next turn if I would lose. Because otherwise I can lose the city. So one turn into an archer. Like I said, I can emergency whip it if need be. I'll start a cottage there. I can decide what to do next turn. And I'll turn into a road there. Let's see what happens. Alright, he should lose this because I'm on the hill. I think I won it. There we go. Alright, that helps. Hopefully I win this too. I'm on the hill. I think I lost. My luck with barbs. Oh well, this was the more important combat to win. I've just lost so many combats though, at like low odds. Alright, so this one was 11% odds, and I won that. This one was 10% odds, and I lost that one. Yes, so in this game I've already lost a 25% odds, and I've lost a 9% odds battle. So I've been pretty unlucky in this game so far. 2, 3, 4. Can't quite reach it this turn. Alright, well, he can't capture my capital. Hopefully he will not pillage. Anyway, so I've had a lot of what I plan to do wrecked by these freaking barbarians. 3 pop. I want to wait until this is 2 pop to whip it. Anyway, that means I can't stay on this tile either. So let's go here. Road this. Anyway, I will be able to kill that warrior next turn with this chariot. I was able to take combat 1 promotion on that too. Alright, now look how fast the Hague is. Look how fast the Hague is growing right now. Because it's got, you know, a big food surplus, plus 6 food, and it's got the granary in place. So again, this is more of what you'd expect to see for a second city. This city over here is very weak. This is not a good city at all. And yeah, well, that happy penalty will wear off. It'll be down to only 1 unhappy face in 3 turns. It'll be okay for the time being. We'll see. And build these cottage. So anyway, things have not gone their greatest, but you know, you just deal with what comes up, even if you get really unlucky. I had to do 1 emergency whip. Oh, so see, a freaking barbarian. So he pillaged my mine. I have 97% odds. He should die. Alright, there we go. But I had a tile improvement taken out, and there's just nothing I could do about that. 3 pop still. And it prevented me from being able to chop, this forest down here, which is what I wanted to do. Anyway, this guy to come back here, build that road. This guy come up here, build half of a road. Yeah, this is fine. And yeah, I don't have now again I don't have a unit. I'll just have to use my chariot to cover that city for the moment when it gets founded. Still, my science keeps going up. Let's just check the demographics again. I'm first in food, which is key, and I'm second in GMP. So even with all these troubles and travails, I'm actually not doing badly at all. I'm tops in the key stats. Production is low because I'm not emphasizing it, which is fine. Alright, so we got the cottage up. Let's swap over to the cottage. There we go. And we want to get cottages up and running ASAP. This city still got the whip on happiness. That's okay though. How many more turns is this? Only 3 more. Okay, this city will be fine. Yep, and I just want to cottage all these grassland tiles, and I want to get some more happiness resources connected, so I need to connect this this gold tile next for happiness purposes. And then I need to expand into the southern jungle. There are alternate ways of getting happiness too. You can get happiness via forges, since I have a gold tile. I can get happiness from Hereditary Rule Civic, which is here, but it's on the religious line, and I haven't gone down that way. So I will get that in time, but I'll probably skip that for the moment in favor of going for calendar. And oh, I need sailing for that. I'm going to do ironworking next, I think. We'll see. Yeah, just got to keep plugging along. All right, so, and I want to connect these. By road too, so I can move units around a little bit more easily. Where should I put the road connection? The road should go here and here. It should go here, here, here. Yeah, okay. Let's work on that for the moment. Okay. Yeah, we're doing alright. Not ideal, but alright. Considering all that's happened. Here comes another bar. I'm actually gonna give this... I'll give him combat too. Let's have him heal. We'll kill that barbed warrior when he comes into our territory. Road. Go. Road. To production. Now, when can I get max overflow on this? 48. If I do another 12. Yeah, next I want to wait one more turn. One more turn's better. This guy I'm going to come over here and start improving tiles for Utrecht. Can't really do anything this turn, unfortunately. Wait, 1, 2. No, I can. 1 turn into a cottage here. And then come over here next turn. Yeah, that way I don't lose any worker turns. Okay. And unfortunately I have to take science down. So I'm running low. Here we go. Alright, keep that turn healing. It'll be full strength next turn. Should be able to kill that without too many problems, as long as he's not on defensive terrain. And even if he is, he should be okay. Let's start on a cottage here. This guy starts on a road. And now I want this guy to come back and help over here. So, let's do that. This guy, what can I do that won't be a waste of his time this turn? I don't want to move him here because he'll just, he'll just lose his turn by moving into a forest tile. Oh, I need to have him build another cottage. Yes, so this works perfectly. See how it's going to be unhappy next turn, but the whip on happiness will also wear out next turn, so it works out okay. Have him work on a cottage here. And this guy's probably going to come do the same. Yeah, after it finishes the road, this guy will come help out. We'll get that cottage up and running. And I need to double whip this. Boom, there we go. Double whip, so now we'll get a lot of overflow, and let's put the overflow into a worker. So I'm going to need another worker here. Now notice what happens. Okay, so this is really interesting, at least to me. So normally when you're building a settler and a worker, you can't grow because the extra food that you're putting in, the food is getting converted into production when you build a worker or a settler. See how I mentioned that in the previous video? 7 food goes into production. But because I whipped this when I was already almost about to grow, notice the food box is 29 out of 28. I will actually regrow to the next size after I finish next turn I will actually grow to size 5, even though I'm building a settler, because I have more food in the box. This is really kind of something you don't see too often, but you can plan it out. Oh, here comes a missionary. Someone wants to convert me. Alright, so got another battle here. 99% odds. I better not lose this. So again, if you right click and highlight, mouse over, you can somebody oracled something. Either Louis or Bismarck again. The Oracle gives a free tech when you build it. It's a very desirable wonder. So you can, if you right click and mouse over, you can see the odds in this game. 99% odds. I have 4.8 strength because I have combat 2 promotion plus 20% strength. The warrior gets 25% bonus because he's on a hill, but I should win this battle. There we go. And I didn't even take damage. It would be really good if I could get this unit to 10 experience, because that would open up a building called the Heroic Epic for later in the game. So notice again, I grew back to size 5, and because we have so much overflow, look at this, we have 35 overflow, 30 overflow, and then 7 plus 5. So we actually get 42 production into the worker. And again, this is how you want to build workers and settlers. Grow back while building other stuff, but build workers and settlers through whipping as much as possible. Okay, so let's see, what can I do here? I can come over here and improve this tile, or I can work on this gold tile, because I'm going to need the gold tile to increase my happy cap. Let's send this guy to the gold tile, and this guy can join him, and the two of them can improve the gold tile, and then the worker that comes out of the city can go over there and help at Utrecht. So let's do that. Now a little detail is, before you get the tech construction in this game, which is over here, and is a pretty good, that enables bridge building. Before that, your roads do not connect over a river. So I will lose, basically it counts as not having a road when you move across a river. Still, I can get one move here, that's on the road, then 1, 2, so I can move here, and then I can move there and found that city next turn. And I'm going to send this chariot over here to help garrison it for the moment. Up here, this city has hit size 5, so unfortunately I don't have a great tile for it to work. This cottage is still a couple turns from completion. So for the moment, there's not much I can do. But what I'm going to do is, next turn, I'm probably going to use it as a specialist, as a scientist specialist. And I'll explain what specialists are when I move on. So let's keep going. Again, we're in pretty good shape right now. Research is steady. Here comes the missionary. That's a French missionary. Library. Okay, so library means that science goes up. And now what I can do is, if this city keeps growing, like this city will keep growing, but notice it's at the happy cap. Right now I have 5 happiness and it's size 5. So if it keeps growing, it's just going to grow into sort of uselessness. If you grow past the happy cap, your citizens just get unhappy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump some of this huge food surplus that I have. I'm going to drop this tile here. So notice that my food surplus drops. I went from having plus 6 to plus 2 because this is a 4 food tile. So I'm going to dump this tile, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, and I can turn this into a scientist specialist. So what the specialists do is, notice how I get 3 beakers, plus 3 beakers from running this, and I also get plus 3 birth rate. What does that mean? Well, if I look down here, you can see I highlight this bar. This is the great person bar. When this fills up all the way, I'll get a great person. And which person I get depends on what type of specialist I'm running. So I'm gonna run, if I run scientist specialist, I'll get great scientists in the pool. So a library gives you 2 specialist slots. You can see you can turn 2 citizens into scientists. So for right now, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to pop these 2 into the scientist spots. That means the city is stagnant. It's not growing. But that's not a big deal because, as I said, can't grow anyway. So we're going to do that. And notice how much the beaker rate goes up. I get 5 commerce, or 5 beakers from the tiles on the map. And then I get a further plus 6 from specialists, which is quite significant. So I'm all the way up to 13 beakers per turn right now. Whereas before, if I just work these tiles, 7 beakers per turn. So that almost doubles it. So right now I can convert food into science by doing this. And that's one of the things that specialist slots do for you. This is actually a pretty good production city. I'm going to build a barracks here, and I'm going to train some of my military out of this city later on. So anyway, now my science has gone up, 31 beakers per turn. It's going to go down when I found this city, though, because it's going to increase my costs. Let's go. Here we go. Build city. Rotterdam. See, my costs go up, so I'm going to have to turn down science slightly. And what tile do I want to work? This one's fine for the moment. I want to work that copper tile as soon as it comes in my borders, but of course I can't use it until then. And we want a granary first, of course. Also, notice how I put this mark. You can put marks on the map in Civ 4 too. You go, what you do is you scroll out to the wide angle view, and then you click here, this little icon here, and then you can just hit new sign, click where you want it. Like let's say I want it here. There's a wheat tile, it can say wheat tile, and then I'll just leave a little marker on the map. Useful for setting yourself reminders, or saying I want to settle here later on, that sort of thing. So just a little note. All right, so let's see, this guy, I need to get over to that copper tile. Well, let's improve the gold tile first, because we need that gold tile too. And now this guy's healed up, so I think I want to send this guy out scouting and see if he can get to 10 experience. So let's send him out and see what we can find. In particular, I want to try to see if this location is still unclaimed down here. Let's send him out and see what he can find. This chariot I want over here to help defend Rotterdam. And I should have a Jewish missionary in my territory next turn. He's going to likely convert my capital next turn. Alright, this cottage should be almost done. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So I have the option to convert to Judaism, which will cost a turn of anarchy. I'm going to refrain from doing that right now. I'll talk more about religion in a future video, but even without converting to it, it does add +1 culture per turn. See, I get 2 from buildings. That's 2 is from the palace, and then I get 2 from being creative, and then 1 from religion. Let's see what we can find out here. Look, the French are down there. They've already claimed the city down there. That's good to know. Well, it's not good, but it is useful to know. Alright, so up here, the cottage finished. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to fire one of these scientist specialists and work the cottage. Why? Because I want that cottage to grow. Remember, you have to work the tile or it won't improve. So 5 turns to hamlet, 10 turns to hamlet. This has already turned into a hamlet. This is close to a village. So again, we want to be working these tiles. And I want this city to regrow onto that cottage tile. But again, whip on happiness. I need that whip on happiness to wear off, or I need to connect the gold. Over here we got a cottage complete too, so let's work on that. Now again, notice how this tile is much weaker. This tile here, only 1 commerce, 2-1. Again, that's because it's not on a river. Again, all of the other cottages I've built, every single one has been on a river, which is what you want to do as financial. 2-3, 2-3. This one was 3-3 because it's a floodplains tile. Now 3-4. This was 2-3, now 2-4, 2-3, 2-1. So again, financial plus river, very strong. Financial plus river is just such a power combo. So that's why you want financial plus river. Financial non-river, much weaker. I need 10 turns for this to grow. When it grows, it will become 2-2, and then through the magic of financial, it will become 2-3. So again, the contrast there. All right, here's our worker. Good, we'll regrow in 3 turns. That's what we want to see. And now let's finish this library. Completes in 1 turn. That'll increase my beaker count by a pretty substantial margin. Gold mines out. Oh, and by the way, here's a little trick that you can do. Now, if I want to emphasize research, I can swap over to this tile. Notice how much commerce I get on this tile. The gold tile is worth 8 commerce, which is really strong. And again, gold tiles are some of the best. But the gold tile is also 0 food. There's no food on this tile whatsoever. So I can work this tile and get a lot of science, but then the city doesn't grow. And this is going to be the key problem for Rotterdam. It doesn't have much food. What I'm going to have to do, it has a lot of production, but it has no food. I'm going to have to build some farms. I have to build some farms on these grassland tiles because right now it just has no food, unfortunately. Should I work? And I want it to keep growing. It's important that the city grow. Well, while it's building a granary, it might be better. I'll go ahead and work this tile for now, even though it cripples the growth of that city, just because it does wonders for my research, and it is the best tile currently available. All right, we want to see. Oh, wow, okay, looks like Louis is down there. I mean, I had no idea where France was, but it looks like he's down here. We'll go scout him out a little bit, see what we can find. And now I've got another worker, so where do I need to send this guy? These guys are going to connect that gold to my trade network next turn. These 2 will go over here. Let's send this guy over to Utrecht. Or should he go up to The Hague? Let's have him here for now because I'm going to need to chop this forest at the capital soon too. Alright. Whip on happiness for 6 more turns. That's fine for right now. Yeah, let's send this guy over here and build another cottage. 1, 2. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, I can't have him put in a turn of work on his way over. Just gonna have to waste that turn, unfortunately. And I'm getting close to the health cap, so I'm gonna need to hook up this rice tile soon. But I can build a cottage first, so let's do that. Up here, I've got one more tile I can cottage here before I have to chop, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's build that cottage. Okay. So here we go, turn 80. This is a convenient stopping point. Notice that I've advanced to first place in score. Again, that's just because the AI doesn't really know how to play this game. We're in great shape. The library is going to finish here next turn. Archer is... This city's not really doing that much, unfortunately. I kind of need research to accelerate so I can build more stuff in my cities. It's kind of the problem. I guess I'll get up some barracks and a couple... I can build some military, finally. I'll use my spare production to build some military, because my military is still kind of sad. Let's just do a quick check of the bar graphs. Oh, and check espionage to see... let's see, I can see Gandhi's bar graphs. I can see Zoal's bar graphs. Pakal I can see for the moment. Bismarck is good. Louis good. So let's set that to Hannibal. I just want to be able to see everyone's bar graphs via espionage. So let's check this out. This is score. Notice how my score has gone from bottom of the pack to top of the pack. The bar graphs always lag 1 turn behind. That's why it's not showing me in first. Score is not really that important. GMP, notice how I'm accelerating up towards the top. That's where I want to be. Bismarck got all this culture from Stonehenge. Culture gets reflected in GMP as well. Production is low because I'm not emphasizing it. And food, this is the key stat. Bismarck did something that caused his food to shoot way up. But I'm out towards the top in food, and that's what matters. This is the one stat I'm lagging in. I have very low power, so I'm going to have to do something to try to rectify that. I'm going to build a couple axes once I get copper connected, and that'll help me. But again, first in GMP, second in food, but only by 1 point. That'll improve as I continue to grow upwards, and even production is starting to improve. I'm dead last in military though, so that's the one thing I'll focus. I'll build a little bit more military, but I'm in good shape. Like I said, this is a good position to be in, and it's a good place to stop this video. So once again, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm glad people have been enjoying this series. If you want to read a little bit more about how to play Civ 4, I do have a walkthrough on my website. I will put it in the description to this video. It will take you through as a tutorial of how to play a game of Civ 4 and give you more information beyond what I've put in this video. So again, thanks for watching. Glad you guys enjoyed this. Stay tuned for part 4.